Sup Shredders, my name is Logan aka Spiderhands and welcome to SP Reviews, where today we're going to be reviewing potentially the shortest track I've ever reviewed through my time as a music reviewer. We're going to be checking out a song by an artist named Mr. Nikmoney titled Stripper. Without further ado, we're going to switch over to here, a minute 23. Put out a lot of material just this year, which by the time you're viewing this will probably have been next year because I'm reviewing this on Christmas Eve. Oh, no, not Christmas Eve, New Year's Eve. It's the 31st of January and December in New Zealand. I need a coffee. But let's get into it. Let's hear what we think.
This must be a stripper when she shake that shit real nasty. This must be a stripper cause she jig that shit real nasty. I know that she's stripping. She be out tripping. I know that she's stripping. She be out skipping. Bitch gotta be a stripper when she shake that ass real nasty. Bitch gotta be a stripper cause she jiggle that shit so nasty.
Okay, I'm going to talk about this from the perspective of someone offering a musical critique because I feel this is very important. I can see what they're trying to do here. I can see the piano parts. I think the piano parts are really cool. There's sort of a classiness to them that I have a lot of love for. And the drums, like, they could fit well into dubstep. They're very kind of, they're an interesting choice with the trap drums, but I can see them working, right?
I swear she a stripper. That bitch, she's a stripper. Stripper.
It's not a piano, sorry. Oh no, there is piano in there.
Shawty shook that whole ass for a paycheck. Broad daylight, bet I get your bitch wet. She saw me dripping so that.
Let's talk about mics. Let's talk about microphones. And this is where I run the risk of really sort of pissing people off when I talk about this stuff. And it's not intentional, but this is, I'm just going to give you a warning. This could potentially irritate people when I say this. It's really important to make sure that you set your gain levels correctly on your microphone when you're recording, because what's happening here, you can hear a kind of sound coming from it, and it's because the person who's recorded this has set their gain on their mic too high, and so it's going into the red, which means that it's going to distort. And analog distortion is okay, like if you're recording through a console and there's a bit too much signal, like has a kind of a it kind of like sounds like it has a bit of overdrive or something, but digital distortion is quite visceral. So what I would recommend for the next track that Mr. Nikmoney does, he's obviously got some skill as a rapper and as a musician, and the production is pretty on point. And like the overdubs are a nice touch, but I think it's just if we can have a look at the gain settings on the microphone, because it sounds like they may have distorted a little bit.
That bitch started scripting, and I ain't even try to flex, I just blew a whole check. Bitch must be a stripper when she shake that shit real nasty. Bitch must be a stripper cause she jig that shit real nasty. I know that she's stripping. She be out tripping. I know that she's skipping. She be out skipping. Bitch gotta be a stripper when she shake that ass real nasty.
I mean, like, I dig the sentiment. We're talking about a stripper, she jiggling. I dig it, I vibe with it. Like, I think if this had some more time just to sort of confirm the state of the vocal sort of recording, you know, maybe this would benefit from something in the low end, like a bass or something like that. But I can also appreciate not having that, as every single track in this genre has an 808 or a bass. So, like, I get it. I get it.
Cause she jiggle that shit so nasty. I swear she a stripper. That bitch, she's a stripper. You a stripper. You a stripper.
Like, it's been mixed pretty well. Like, all in all, like, everything's pretty well balanced. And in terms of the mastering as well, aside from those plick, plick, bum, 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 those kind of plick, plick parts where there's like a kind of a, I don't know what that would be. I don't know what instrument that would be. Where there's maybe a little bit too much presence in the 6-7 kilohertz range. It's cool. Like, I like the track. I like the vibe of it. Again, I think that a track like this has a lot of potential, genuinely. It's just that the vocal might gain. The track didn't really need to be longer than it was. At 1 minute 23, I think that Mr. Nikmoney said what they wanted to say, and I have a lot of love for that. Thank you. Too often, you'll get musicians who will make a track 2 minutes by having one verse, one hook, and then nothing. and then it'll just be like 40 seconds of just instrumental. Having the gumption and the guts to put out a track, which, by the way, even with the vocal distortion happening that I think was accidental, it could be stylistic, which is fine, but if it is accidental, it could be fixed. I love the fact that they've put this track out. Fucking great. Fucking awesome. Do more of this. Keep putting music out. It's cool. It's good that you're releasing stuff. Keep going. You know, I want to hear more songs like this where they don't waste the listener's time. They start, they finish, and it's not self-serving. It's like, you got told the story, now you're done. You know what I mean? That's the impression I got from Stripper. So, you know, I get it. There's like maybe a little bit of work can be done on some other sort of like recording parts, like the physical recording, and maybe a bass could have been added. But aside from this track's got a lot of heart, and I like the attitude generally. It's pretty dope. That's my review of Stripper by Mr. Nikmoney. Yeah, I haven't got really much else to say about it. It could even be a mic issue. Like maybe, I mean, I don't have a lot of really like fancy mics myself. Like I use a Rode NT1A, which does the job. I've also got a few other ones like, and I want to get an SM7B next year and a vocal preamp. But like even just like, I don't know, like a Yeti. No, don't get a Yeti. Don't get a Yeti, a Blue Yeti, because they run at 16-bit. Even like a USB mic that can run at 24-bit, 48 kilohertz or something like that. Something like that will do you well. It's just making sure that you do not see that vocal gain go into the red unless you want it to do that. That's basically my review of Mr. Nikmoney's Stripper. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Please do check out Mr. Nikmoney's various social medias and their Spotify. Stay cool, stay safe. Please remember to support local musicians and artists at this point in time. It's neither hell more than ever with all the crazy stuff going on in the world, and I'll catch you next review. Spider hands out.